Hey everybody, Baby Pie back at you again with another YouTube video. This time we got the update version 1.0 patch notes. So yes, we are getting patch version 1.0 releasing approximately August 20th at 6 a.m. So that is in about 4-ish days. Less than that due to 6 a.m. But we got a lot of information overall. So there's a ton of stuff. So we're going to get straight into it. Let's start with the introduction. They're just saying that V1 is right here. We are getting Zinx support. And it's version 1.0 is our most feature-heavy game update to date, packed full of exciting new features. Whether that's tutorial improvements, new loading screens, calm wheel improvements, or gameplay automations, there's something for everyone. There's no time to pause though. Pause. Oh, I get it. Let's at long last dive into the version 1.0 patch notes. So, new hero Zinx, the augmented ally. We did the data mine, all that stuff. Seems to be pretty accurate, I believe. Just taking a quick gander. This is gonna be a YouTube video. I'm gonna make sure that you guys get to see it. So this is gonna be linked in the description to everything here. But you know, that way you guys can enjoy it and all that. I've not actually watched this. I thought this was the reveal or something else. So I do need to watch this. But let's take a look at the abilities. So Triage Protocol passive. Gains a stack for 5 seconds when damaging enemy heroes with basic attacks or abilities up to a maximum of 5. At max stacks, Triage Protocol activates, granting Zinx 40% decaying movement speed. That is so much movement speed. And 50% increased infused healing. That is a lot of healing too. Stacks cannot be gained with Triage Protocol is in cooldown. The animations look pretty cool for her. Sorry, I had to sneeze there, so I stopped. Oh wait, I wanted to see when she was walking around. That's just her movement that they're showing. All right. Cooldown 17. Wait, so this is the same one. 17 seconds. Wait, what's this? Okay. I pressed space and ruined everything. Refib basic attack. Yep, this is a regular basic attack. I like the animation for it overall. 60% bonus physical power scaling, same as Decker, I believe. Primary attack or ricochet. Now this is super interesting. This is a disc that gets thrown and can apply stuns, and it can jump on minions and enemies. Zinx throws an electromagnetic disc dealing 80, 110, 40% magic power scaling, and stunning for 1 second up to 1.3 seconds. The disc can ricochet to the closest nearby target within 650 units, up to 5 times, dealing its damage again and stunning each target for 50% of the duration. The disc will not ricochet to previously hit targets. So there's no cooldown reduction. So this is 15 raw. So it'll be interesting to see what's gonna be the thing you level up. So bad medicine secondary. So kind of like an explosion. Gives you an area effect and then explodes. Zinc shoots the ground, forming a pool of radiation that deals 35, 50, 25% magic power scaling and slows for 30%. Or for 0.75 seconds. After 0.75 seconds, the radiation erupts, dealing magical damage, 45% magical power scaling, and slowing all enemies hit by 50%. That's a pretty hard level stun. How's the size of it again? It's sizable. It's nothing too crazy though. It's nothing too wild. Infuse. Okay, so it just throws. Is that a lock-on ability? She's kind of angled, so but this is kind of where it is. Is she? I'm a little confused by the positioning of her character model. Okay, no, so I don't know if that's lock on. It kind of followed through. Things fires a healing bolt on an ally that restores health, 40% magical power scaling, increased by 50% based on their missing HP. Zinx's basic attack deals an additional magic damage, 15% magic power scaling, over 3 seconds. I'm curious if this is gonna proc stuff. I don't think there's any support-based proc stuff. Cooldown is actually, I mean, it's relatively low for early game. Cost is kind of high mana-wise though, so I'm curious to see her overall mana that she gets to hold on to. Neural Regenesis Ultimate. So that was a resurrection. That's a teammate. He died within a certain time frame and he resurrected. CD, pretty fair CD, a little bit higher than most things, but apply cellular restructuring to yourself on an ally hero, granting 40% movement speed, decaying movement speed, and revival for 4.5 seconds. If the target takes lethal damage within this time, they resurrect at 40%, 50%, 60% HP, and mana after 2.5 seconds. That's a lot of time. 4.5 seconds, a lot of time. Like, that's a lot of time. Oh man, she's gonna be wild. Okay, store news: more uses for Amber. At long last, premium hero affinity tracks can now be purchased with Amber. Visit the Affinity tab on any of your favorite heroes and click Purchase Affinity. You'll be able to pick your preferred payment. I don't know how far down the line if that has any effect, but it's about 7,700 for the Affinity track. I remember the Affinity track just allows you to get the track and get 30% more XP. You don't get all those skins and stuff immediately, unless you already have the levels, I presume. In addition to the hero affinities, you will now be able to buy two select bundles using Amber 2. Ah. New skin, Star Queen Zinx Uncommon. I think yeah, pretty interesting looking skin. We don't have anything live for it. Undertow Richter, Legendary, Embrace the Eldritch Forces. So we're just going to look at the overall Undertows. So Richter, complete all new visual effects, sound effects, and voiceover, and a tentacular recall animation. He's literally playing with his thing on here. Okay, interesting. Undertow, so these are legendary skins. Fang Mao getting legendary skin, so also getting the same type of thing, visual effects, voiceovers, and all that, recall animation. Undertow Gideon, also legendary skin, with the visual effects, voiceover, and all that. All the legendaries have that. Undertow Zaris, rare, so this just changes up how he looks, doesn't change anything else after that. Pretty cool looking skin. He looked a lot more green though when I saw in the trailer. He looked very similar to regular Zaris. But I think this is $800 skin, right? Rares are 800, I believe. 800 to 1200. Undertow Rampages are rare. This is kind of interesting that they made him a rare. Because I felt like he got some pretty cool looking animations for being a shark. Undertow Grux is also a rare as well. New bundle, Star Queen Zinx bundle. Is this the one that we could buy with the Amber? So you get all this good stuff. I'm not really gonna go through with it. I don't care too much about skins. More about the balance. We'll just kind of hover over it for those that are interested. You can always freeze or look at the pause or look at the link. Undertow bundles. Grab one of our assorted Undertow bundles. So yeah, okay, just Undertow bundle. Rectory hero and includes all that stuff. Same thing for all these. So all of them get the bundle. They're missing something though, the banner. So the rares don't get the banner, it seems. Undertow spray bundle. These sprays are different. So is this, what's this here? What is that? What does that mean? Is this the one we could buy? Undertow skin hero bundle. Those are all the bundles that we're getting. Undertow VFX bundle. Undertow Mega Bundle, which includes everything. I'm really curious how much that is. Summer Spray Bundle. Why not check our ad orbable? What the? Oh, I get it. Orb. Okay, I get it. It's too much fun. Too much punniness. Oh, here bundles marked with an asterisk can be purchased with either platinum or amber. So I just want the trash can skin, man. Give me the trash can skin. Price changes. Zaris is getting a reduction basically in his cost because he's been out for a while. Exclusive skins. That's right, 1.0 brings you more skins than we mentioned. These skins will be available in the store, however, each will be made available in unique exclusive ways. Ace Mechanic Gadget skin, the original Tinkerer returns. This is the original gadget skin that we're getting. This skin will be exclusive as a free reward for connecting an email address to your Pred account. This is actually really cool. Lumen Undertow Rampage skin. This skin will be made available as part of the platform collaboration, probably PlayStation. And then this one is Hunter Shadow Ops Twin Blast, which is also part of the Xbox. It looks like not bad. They look like variants though. So this is it's a little bit weird. Skin variant. So you have to have this one, and I'm assuming it's Xbox because it's green and PlayStation because it's blue. I don't know. Rank mode. With 1.0, we're expanding the availability. The following will be the new hours of ranked. EU, they're adding 1 hour before and 1 hour after for weekends, 1 hour before and 2 hours after for weekdays. with 14 and 11 hours. NA, 1 hour before, 2 hours after on weekends, 1 hour before, and 3 hours after for weekdays. So 15 and 12. We're actually getting an extra hour on NA because NA is cool. Improvements. Following our recent hotfix, we're still working on ironing out some small bugs. 1.0 will address another of these issues. This time, rebalancing VP values to remove cases where players lose a lot more VP than gained. Yes, that's needed for a lot of people I've been seeing. Account linking. Our first implementation of account linking is finally here. Shortly after 1.0, you'll notice a new button on the Predecessor website, My Account. Clicking this button will redirect you into it. So for now, you'll be able to do this as an email address to your account and connect it to Discord and Twitch. Doing so will unlock exclusive rewards. Connecting to Discord will grant you a highly anticipated early access support role. If you purchase an early access bundle, connecting to Twitch will let you earn Twitch rewards, granting you exclusive sprays, icons, skins, and more just watching your favorite creators. Connecting your email will sign you up for Predecessor mailing lists and grant you access to the exclusive original gadget skin Ace Mechanic. The team has worked hard on adding these for all systems. We weren't able to deliver this in time for 1.0, but we hope to update the account linking portal with this extra functionality soon. So this isn't coming out yet. After 1.0. Okay, so after 1.0. I was going to say, okay. Thought they said they weren't implementing all of it. So after 1.0, we'll probably look into getting that. At least that's coming in. I know a lot of people are switching over. Role select improvements. This first decision many of us make in Predecessor is which role we want to play. Especially for new players. We overhauled the role select process, making the whole thing more visual and informative. You'll now be told which side of the map you'll be playing and be represented with an interactive map overview showing which lane each role is associated with and some more important objectives and buffs you should be considering. We've added handy tips to make it easier to understand each role's playstyle, and when playing against AI, new players will be prompted to first unlock at no cost the jungle and fill roles to make it clear that these roles are more complicated than others. Alright, pretty interesting, cool looking thing right here. Alright. I assume the names will be on the bottom or the check. I'm trying to find out what this stuff is. I don't know. It's just easy and hard. Or easier. 3. I don't know what that exactly the numbers are. Draft improvements. New MOBAs can be tricky to wrap your head around, especially if you're new to the genre. Use this opportunity to make a number of improvements. So recommended heroes, clear class categories, better hero sorting, tabs to replace filters, new icons for heroes on free rotation, simplified information about hero abilities, added controller support for easier navigation, added flavor text for each hero. So here this will, okay, they talk about the hero a little bit. Assassin Mage. I hope we can get rid of that personally. I don't know. I feel like this is a very big beginner type thing. That's kind of it. So I hope we can get rid of that. And then it does tell you what you've been assigned here. That's actually super helpful. I like this a lot. I like seeing this. I hope you can copy and paste off of this and kind of use it similar to Professor if you ever played League of Legends. But overall, pretty interesting. Like here, I wish they made it. You've been assigned to mid lane. Select a hero. Like I wish they showed that maybe better. Just like, I don't know, for the people. I don't like how mid lane is so small. New pre-match loading screens. We do our best to ensure Predecessor loads nice and quickly. There's going to be times with a gulp loading screen. We want these screens to be helpful for new players to get information. Here's what we've done. Added tips specific to the role you're playing. Added a loading bar, text to explain what's going on behind the scenes. Added the map so we can see which lane you need to focus and relevant objectives. Added which side you'll be playing on. Added the map name and game mode. Added which role each player is playing. So my only issue is that if people switch, they would technically not be in the same role position. So I'm a little bit confused by that. Added new loading backgrounds that change based on the game mode you are playing. I am not personally. I don't know. I kind of don't like this. It's mainly because like I don't like it's like clear your lane quickly because I don't think that's necessarily true. But I don't know. I don't like these rows because you can always switch, right? And I hope in the future you can actually switch, like pick a character and then switch it. So I'm not a big fan of that personally, but I hope they can try and you know, I don't know, maybe they'll adjust it and whatnot. And this is just kind of information that after you see it once, you kind of never need it again. So I don't know. I mean, maybe after like, sorry, if you after playing that role 5 times, honestly, if you watch a YouTube video, you probably don't need any of this information. If you watch a good player in that role play on YouTube, So I'm a little bit, I don't know. I find it like a waste of resources, but we'll see. Map improvements. When you spend as much time on a game map, do you know if support to feel immersed in it? All game maps now have official canon names: Classic 5v5 Sanctuary, Brawlers Canyon, Practice is Serio. They had a different name on the 5v5, which kind of interests me. It was kind of leaked, so I wonder if there's another map coming in the near future. Making some improvements to the Sanctuary map. We removed many invisible boundaries that blocked traversal. Yes, thank you. Characters with high mobility can enjoy more freedom and verticality than ever. We overhauled the foliage across the map. The junglers now feel more vibrant and densely vegetated with specific prominent flowers that help differentiate each one. Not a fan, you can toggle this feature off too. Yay, that's actually pretty nice. We've added a new tree in the rivers to provide a little more protection. And ooh, I like this. And vision blocking from those pesky middle to side lanes. There have been some minor adjustments to the map and a few places to help with traversal and gameplay flow. We've improved some of the textures and lighting to really let the map shine. That's actually super nice. This is the opening. They put this little thing here, opening to like blue camp and whatnot, but they made it more straight. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. This is like blue buff. How do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? There. Oh my god, Papaya, you moron. Alright. This really is a long patch note. Improve gameplay automation systems. As previously mentioned, mobiles like Predecessor can pose quite the learning curve. You're excited to release new gameplay automations that will take the edge off of the learning experience. Let new players instead focus on learning the map. Added new gameplay automations. Automatic hero leveling, automatic crest selection. That's not all. We made these automations much more visual than before. That's kind of nice. They have them here. They'll show stuff up right there. I like that. Also, I wish you could kind of customize the automation though. That's probably not available right now, so it's a little bit something that we have to wait. Yeah, they're on by default and can be toggled individually in the settings menu. Assist indicator. So yeah, they're gonna start showing assists right now when you get kills. They're not gonna show it here, just right here. I hope they made this smoother. It doesn't really pop up as often. Sometimes it like takes a lot longer. Communication wheel improvements. It's great to play with friends, but sometimes you find yourself hurting in the fight. Yes, very true. Enter the ping wheel. Many of you already made good use of this feature to add more oomph, adding complete voiceover support for each of the messages that you select, as well as adding a few new ones, like blink availability. Worried about hearing good job spammed? Afraid not. These cooldowns on voiceover reduce spam and you can turn it off altogether in the settings. I don't know why they don't just get rid of good job. I think it's just not necessary. In-game system chat messages. Knowing what's going on is crucial on making informed decisions. With this in mind, we've added a bunch of helpful new chat messages that pop each time a player does something noteworthy that we think you might need to know about. Huh? What is that? I want to know what that is. Slay the hero, that's going in chat along with how much bounty. Enemy taken one of your towers, that's going in chat. Fangtooth spawned, you believe it's going in chat. Ooh. Granted, I would like a 30-second warning or 1-minute warning, I think, for Fangtooth. Obviously, there's a great deal to be found, so I encourage you to keep an eye on the chat logs in your next match. Ooh, I'm kind of excited. Let's take a look at this chat. Fang Boost spawning in 30 seconds. Fang Boost spawned, killed for a team buff. I wish I just said killed by enemy, killed by ally. Howitzer has slain Gideon for bounty and then bonus gold. That's actually really cool. I like this. This is really good additions to the chat. That's really good additions to the chat. That's really nice. Post-match improvements. The post-match sequence is also getting some love. Ooh, I like how they made it smaller. That's really nice. That's not all, however, you can also now select a player in the screen. Report them. Yes, thank you. Screw you, Apollo. Get reported. Not participating. Wow. Absolute bot. There is more visual improvements. And take a look and let us know what you think. I like that a lot. I hope we do get to see a lot of the UIs or more of the HUD-based stuff. Twitch drops. You added Twitch drop functionality to Predecessor. Now you can unlock in-game rewards just to supporting your favorite content creators. Our first collection of Twitch drops will become available. I see Countess. On August 20th, alongside the game update, will feature the highly anticipated Blueberry Punk Countess. This skin, alongside a spray and profile icon, will be exclusive to Twitch drops, so be sure to tune in. Ooh, this is really nice. I kind of like her hair like that. I wanted more. I wanted more of a picture. You know, I need to see everything. Okay, okay. I kind of like this little bubblegum edition. That's pretty. Her teeth, her mouth is open. Wow, you couldn't even just change her mouth a little bit. Make a dedicated web page here for more information. All right, so we'll get with that. Additional features. The tutorial is now additional voiceover narration. I think I butchered that. Attack range text improvements. Um, Minimap size options. That's really nice. But I hope that we could actually scale it how we want, not just large or small, but we'll see. Targeting visual improvements. Code redemption. Xbox achievements. Xbox localization. PlayStation's trophies did not make it though, so only Xbox right now. I guess we're not getting anything for PC. I guess PC doesn't get trophies or anything. Xbox localization brought up Xbox, so yeah. That's gonna be good for their languages. Performance and connection stability improvements. That's gonna be nice. Hopefully, it fixes Epic Games. At least with me, Epic Games. All right, gameplay balance changes. God, this is only halfway. Overview: jungle and monster durability decreased slightly in the mid to late game. Wait, so jungle and monster durability is decreased. Really? Okay. I wonder if this includes buffs. Minion movement speed increase in the mid game. Only in the mid game? Outlier, hero, and item adjustments. Support item cost reduction. New stat allocations for Ashbringer, Nuclear Rounds, Earthshaker, and Miss Meadow Buckler, and more. Minions, we're changing the way minions ramp up their movement speed throughout the match, with them now becoming slightly faster. Approximately the 20-minute mark onwards. This will reduce the waiting time for minion wave. It's good and bad. If you win a lot of games and all that, is going to help you out. If you feel like you're always going into late game, this might hurt you. But it's kind of nice. It's going to allow more punishment for rotations, but not much early game. Like late game, you clear stuff so quickly. I don't know. Mini movement speed has changed. Oh, based on levels. It's kind of nice to have this information now, though. So yeah, here it adjusts. So after 6 levels, basically, then it goes here. Okay. 695. Yeah, it's a smaller. I mean, it's still a nice size, and you can tell. Melee minion physical armor growth because we're on some unnatural scenarios. So physical armor is decreased from 0 to 0. Oh, so here the growth. Wow, it's cut in half. The armor growth is cut in half. That's gonna be very interesting. This is gonna change some stuff up for the melees. Super minions are seeing an increase to their magical armor, meaning magical heroes cannot as easily clear them, especially in those late game siege scenarios. Magical armor increased from -65 to -40. That kind of sucks because I felt like that's the benefit that you have as a laner, is that AoE type of damage to kind of melt minions. But it does feel that way unless you have Prime, and that Prime is what's going to help you push. If you don't have Prime, it's pretty darn easy to just kind of clear a wave. So maybe this is better overall. Towers possess an issue where their ramping damage would be forgotten if the target manages to get outside of their range upon being hit. So like blinking out last moment. That has now been resolved. So fix an issue where ramped up tower damage is instantly reset if the target is hit while out of range. Jungle, so health per level is decreased. On red buff, same thing with blue buff, so health per level is decreased on black camp or 2s. So all of them are just getting health levels decreased. I'm not going to go over too much. It's just a small amount, but definitely will save you a basic attack. So we'll do that. Hero balance changes. Argus is receiving a slight reduction in his early particle shredder cooldown, allowing him more windows to swap between minion wave and heroes. Wait. Cooldown is decreased on his ult. Really? I mean, his alternate ability early game? I don't like that at all, personally. That means he doesn't get punished for canceling the ability early if he didn't use it. I don't like that. I think Argus is really super strong right now. I'm not a big fan of that. I think that's really stupid. Aurora, cooldown decreased from 26, so on the primary ability. Glacial Charge. So when did this start? Aurora has been a strong performer due to her general damage output and a higher level of plays the strength of her Ice Wall and all the ways it can disrupt fights. Alongside some general damage hits to ensure Aurora does not perform at a higher levels of play, Glacial Charge is having its cooldown adjusted. Now triggering once the ice wall has disappeared from the world rather than on cast. That's actually really nice. This means you'll have more limited uptime on the ability and must be selective with it to use. No longer getting an effective 5-second reduction time. That's pretty nice. Her ultimate damage is decreased. Late game explosion damage is decreased. Late game cooldown increased. That's actually nice. Any time you add on to that, she just has a lot of CC and she's still really tanky. So they didn't do anything to her actual like, just her base tankiness. Countess. So Countess, I heard, got her bugs fixed. Um, she struggles in the mana department even in mid to late game where mana should no longer be as scarce. To ensure Countess is not forced to investment in mana itemization, granting her some general increase in her mana economy. Generally, Blade Siphon. I kind of disagree with this. Mana regen is increased, mana cost is decreased, and then the fixes to her Q, both fixes are being there, which is really nice. But we still don't know anything about her going through the map, so I'm a little bit worried about that still. But I don't like this. I don't know. I think that she should have got damage nerfed and more and lower ability cooldowns. I think she still has a really hard time farming with a lot of the strong mid laners right now. So I'm a little bit disappointed by this. Crunch, health growth is increased just ever so slow. Health growth is increased, so every single level he'll get an extra 3 more. Physical armor growth is increased, so they're making him a bit tankier. Because yeah, he gets burst down. One form of CC gets to basically get burst down. It's fairish. I hate this character. Like he is a strong character, but he does fall off when it comes to team fights. Decker. Decker's general damage profile has her functioning more as a burst mage rather than disruptor. Yes, nerf her damage. So it's additional damage and uptime is being taken out of her kit to ensure her damage contribution is not overly high given the amount of utility she's already provides to her team. Stasis bomb damage is decreased. Yes, that's nice. I think they could even reduce it more. Ion strike ultimate damage is decreased. Cooldown increased. I still would think like the Q should have got a nerf too. I think overall her kit does just too much damage for how much utility she has. Like I think if her Q took 10 more HP and then you have basically 30 HP early game off the board, that would help out a good amount. But they didn't do anything with her scaling because she scales really damn hard still. I don't know. Drongo. Drongo's combination of general safety, burst damage potential, and tank shredding currently allows him to serve as a strong jack of all trades. While I wish to maintain his general burst damage profiles and more ability-centric carry, some general abilities uptime and damage being stripped back. This will result in less one-shot scenarios. With a shrapnel cannon is thrown into the mix and better allowing tanks to hold up to the damage when focused by him. Max health damage is decreased. That's 20% nerf. Monster max health damage cap is decreased by 25%. Shrapnel cannon ultimate damage is decreased. Cooldown is increased even. I still feel like he just does so much base damage, but off of like his base and his E. But hopefully there are enough changes. Wastelander is going to be worthy. This is going to be big for against tanks. And I think any type of thing that you do to his ult, this 20 damage, 40 damage late game is a big deal actually. So I think this is going to be pretty effective on Drongo. Fang Mao has struggled to find presence in the jungle role, often preferring to exist in the offlane instead to better facilitate him in the jungle without impacting offlane too heavily. His hamstring is receiving some damage increase. There's so much stuff in this thing. I'm going to focus on the general. If I have any questions, I'll look back on this. General mana is decreased. So you got a nerf in mana. Mana growth is decreased. Mana regen is decreased. Mana regen growth is increased. Okay. So mana got nerfed on him overall. Hamstring is secondary. Damage increased from 90 to 95. So they're going to allow him to just clear better in jungle. Yeah, and then late game gets into 35. Gadget has risen as a strong performer. Health growth is decreased. Fair. Shock absorber passive. Cooldown is increased. Wow! This is kind of wild that they're buffing this. Sticky Mine primary magical power scaling decreased from 80 to 75%. Security gate secondary damage. It's wild to me that this character got strong once and they freaking are instantly throwing the ability to like instant nerf on him. People like Drongo, Chimera, Grux, those guys ran they were just run rampant for so long because she's honestly just getting strong because of how high elo tends to actually play well together and group up. And I think people in general are starting to group up at objectives better. So that's why she's getting stronger. But I would rather have mid laners get buffed equal to her level than seeing her get nerfed. Because I think mid lane is still the weakest lane by a long shot. Security gate secondary damage decreased late game by a little bit. Which is kind of lame because it's already, I don't know why they did that. It's already an ability that's hard to overall hit and all that. And it's a root. It only hits one person. Seek and destroy alternate. So now correctly always deals 10 ticks of damage instead of 9. Damage are decreased from 140 to 120, and that's a 20 damage. Magical power scaling is decreased on it by 10%. Cooldown is increased. Wow, they are literally hurting every single piece of our kit. Tesla Dome magic power scaling decreased from 220 to 210. Magical armor shred is decreased from 5 to 4. Cooldown is increased from 120. Wow, they are literally hitting every piece of our kit, man. I kind of dislike that. Gideon. Similar to Gadget, Gideon is separate from an issue. His ultimate will not always feel to deal the correct 10 instances of damage. Black Hole. Ultimate Black Hole now correctly deals 10 instances instead of 9. Damage per instance is decreased. Huh? Magical power scaling per instance is decreased. Total damage changed from 405 to 410. And then nerfed into late game. Total magical power scaling is decreased ever so slightly. Why? Because of that 9? Is that why they did it? Just to balance it out? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of what they're doing to mids. Greystone can struggle to reliably Blandis assault the gates on enemy heroes due to the lower radius here. Sacred O secondary bonus physical power scaling is increased from 20 to 25%. Wow, they're buffing his basic attack enhancer. Assault the gates alternate cooldown refund on hit increased from 35 to 40. Damage radius is increased. Impact VFX increased to better match the hit bar. Okay. Cooldown is increased on his ultimate. That's actually really nice. A little nerf to him. Grim physical power is decreased. Health decreased. Mana decreased. Mana growth increased. Basic attack timer increased. That's actually good because he attacks really quick. Displacement blast. Damage is decreased. Good. For early game, that's really nice because he has really solid early game poke potential. So I like that. Assault mode secondary. The slow is decreased. Actually, yes, it needed to be decreased. So I like that too. But it's only for early game. It's fine, honestly, for early game. It's tough late game. He doesn't have an escape in anything, so he's pretty easy to kind of get beat up. Energy shield. Shield duration is decreased from 1.5 to 1.25. A little interesting of a nerf. Didn't see any, yeah, so we don't see any type of like true damage or his magic power scaling getting beat up at all. Alright, let's look at Howitzer. Physical armor was increased. Okay, that's a pretty nice sizable chunk. His landmine damage is decreased and the magical power scaling is increased. So it helps out a bit into late game is basically it. Yeah, late game does more damage. Slow grenades, alternate slow increase. That's actually, yes, I like that change as well. Pretty sizable. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's pretty good. A good zoning stuff. Good chase and all that. I like that a lot. Granted, I do think he's strong, so I'm a little bit surprised that I'm a little bit surprised by this. That's his punishment. I'm a little bit surprised and confused what they did with him. Kalari, so guillotine ultimate damage. Whoa! Why? Huh? Wow, this is insane. I'm sorry, but she's a skill-based character, and she still dominates pretty darn high in high-level play. So which is supposed to be like not true because wards and positioning. But I don't like this at all. I don't know why they're buffing her. Whatever. Chimera, so health growth is increased. Physical armor is decreased. Physical armor growth is increased. So how much will it take? Basically evens out after like 10 levels. Primary ability damage is increased just a tad bit. Total physical power scaling is decreased from 45 to 40. Invigorate secondary, that's the cleanse. That got oh wow, got a buff for late game. Max health change from 8 to scale into it scales into late a lot better. Yeah, this is definitely a buff. Ambush damage decreased from 85 to 80, and then very little bit. Cooldown is changed. So late game he gets to jump more. This is a overall buff I feel like for Chimera. Maybe a little bit hurt by carries. Nah. Physical armor decreased. So it's just raw. It's not growth. Yeah, so no, that's pretty much a buff. Kira thrives multiple ways. Okay. Health is decreased for her. Attack speed growth is decreased. Oh wow, that's surprising. By a sizable amount too. Dusk damage per stack decreased. Huh. That's a little interesting. Max damage is decreased. Wow, I'm surprised that they're nerfing her for her ultimate being kind of useless. Well, let's see here. Total damage is increased on her ultimate. Oh, late game it gets 100 more damage. Total physical power scaling is increased on it too. It's a pretty nice buff to that ultimate. That is actually pretty sizable. Still though, she gets focused, she still kind of loses her ultimate basically. So she got more pushed into using her ult right now. I got nerfed on her Q or primary ability. Belka damage is increased on her seismic assault. So that's her stun knock up until more into like late game, mid game. You don't usually level it up, so that's more like mid game buffs. Neural disruptor ultimate. Damage is increased into late game, and the magical power scaling is increased by 5%. That's pretty sizable late game. Her mid game, early game is practically the same. So I don't expect it to change too much. Mid game is when she'll start scaling definitely a lot better, and this her ultimate's coming back to what it used to be in a way. Mortgage, so our movement speed is decreased. That's nice. Pestilence passive, max health damage is decreased. That's much needed nerf. I wish it was nerfed. Honestly, one more percent by 0.1% because I mean it's just nutty that she has lock-ons and she does dot damage. And when you get mega custom, it procs it. Her secondary bonus movement speed is increased, so she's gonna get the movement speed back basically on her swarm. Yeah, basically instantly. So I don't know if this is really gonna be that big of a deal. 2% off of that, you're getting like more than 10. So this will be back. Yeah, this is technically. I don't know. I feel like yeah, she got nerfed, but her movement speed is still there when she uses swarm, if not stronger actually. So she still gets a lock on. She gets to stay stuck on you and throw her Q and RMB off cooldown on you. Murdoch receiving some small durability increases, so health is increased a little bit, and physical armor is increased a tad bit. That's a little interesting. I feel like he's very oppressive right now. I think he's fine. I'm a little surprised to see any changes on him. I think just some carries needed a nerf. Maybe an item needed a nerf. Muriel, so Serenity, her primary damage is decreased. Yay, that's actually really nice because she's been very oppressive. Same thing with Decker. But she can definitely hit a lot easier than that Decker. Phase, so Hyperflux Ultimate, the ability haste is increased from 35 to 40, so 5 on all. That's surprising. I also found Phase to just be kind of strong. Even her ultimate, give her the lifesteal, the movement speed, damage increase. But I didn't think it was really necessary. Even with what they're saying here, where it's like, oh, she doesn't pair with some heroes. I think she pairs with every carry pretty well. Rampage, so damage is increased by 15 on his Rumble, his secondary ability. By 15, it's a sizable amount actually. It makes his ganks a lot more stronger. Total physical power scaling is decreased by a lot. Damage now scales with 6% to bonus HP, so it does more to tanks now. Damage radius is also increased by 8%. I don't know how I feel about this. It's a little bit stronger early. Yeah, it is stronger early game. That's kind of it. Behemoth ultimate bonus health is increased. They brought back they brought back what they nerfed on him. I'm pretty sure this was I think this was 300, 400, 300, 500, 700. So I think they're bringing that back, kinda, sorta. King of the Jungle health and regen modifier is now increased. Okay, so they increased it by a 0.5. Okay, so Revenant general mana health growth is increased from 124 to 128. Health growth. Mana growth is increased. So they're definitely I need some water, man. This is a lot of talking that we're doing right now. A lot of changes are kind of coming up, and we're still like we still got some ways to go. Hand cannon primary bug fix where not automatically reload if Scott. I actually have dealt with this, so this is pretty nice. Hellfire rounds alternate, so fourth shot missing health damage increased from 4.5 to 5%. Richter, a quick bump to Richter's attack speed, allowing better attack speed is increased by 105 to 110. Not bad. Why is Several getting a attack speed buff, man? That's absolutely insane. 100 to 105. It's not much, but still, he's already a monster. All right, let's look at Terra. Damage is decreased on the primary. Good. And power damage is decreased as well. That's actually pretty nice. Wild Rush alternate. This is this was the dash. This E is a stun. So max charge damage is decreased. Bonus physical power scaling is increased. Huh? So 120 to 100. This will give you, it scales more into mid to late game, so it's technically a nerf early, which is good because I mean honestly she puts a lot of damn pressure early game. Max charge bonus physical power scaling is decreased. Good. Mana cost is increased from 70 to 80. Shield duration is decreased. That shield duration, I guess they could have put it at 3 seconds. That shield lasts a while. It's pretty sizable. But she does need a sustain. If she can't get to the carry and all that stuff, she does kind of need it. Cooldown is increased on her ultimate by 10 seconds late game in general. That's actually pretty nice. Alright, Twin Blast. Physical power growth is increased. Wow, they buffed Twin Blast. Oh my god. That's kind of nutty, actually. Basic attack damage is low compared to other carries. That's why you use your abilities. Yeah, you should hit your 2 individual shots. I'm pretty sure you do the most damage if you hit both individual shots. Wraith, attack speed growth is increased. Okay, physical armor growth is increased, making it a little tankier. Again, more like against jungle ganks and carries if you take him into the dual lane. Peekaboo slow duration is increased from 0.75 to 1 second. Our alternate ability is getting a 5 damage buff just across the board. I don't know that's enough. He just doesn't have any AoE. His clear is kind of low, and just carries, I think, just play better than him. There's better carries, consistent damage. You miss a shot with Wraith, you lose so much. Zaris, so cooldown has changed from his ultimate. Basically, wow, that does nothing. I'm actually, I mean, it helps into late game. I mean, early game. Okay, let's be real here. But I still don't think it's really that impactful. It's like that's the time. That's like a jungle clear camp. About 20 seconds, 15 seconds. So it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. A bit weird on that. Item balance changes. Okay, now we're in items. Titan and Goliath. Oh, let me see. Titan and Goliath crest will now evolve 20 stacks faster, saving tanks. Yes, that's actually needed. Tanks take way too long to get that crest, especially when the tank is getting camped and all that stuff. He can't really farm anymore, so now he's going to be set back even more. Brutalex, a small decrease in Brutalex cooldown makes it more attractive. Yeah, this guy has never been used anymore. Purifying Rage cooldown 150 to 135. I don't know if that's going to really help too much. Because you got, like, if you go like Seraph, or you get better sustain as a tank with that stuff, so. Epoch provides incredible safety. Let's see, stasis device cooldown is increased. No, they just keep hurting the mid laners, man. We're already in trouble. Liberator, purifying guard shield. Yes, this is actually much needed. This needs to be nerfed. Liberator provides way too much for what it provides. It gives you this cleanse and it gives you a pretty heavy shield. So at least there's a nerf to the shield. Witch Stalker, similar to Brutalis, a purifying cooldown is decreased from 150 to 135. Nether shards. This is the build for what item is that build into? I built it on Amir's. Cost is decreased. Magic power is decreased. Monster Slayer bonus damage is increased. This probably will move on to Spirit of Amir. Absolution. It does not provide enough magical armor, so they're increasing magic armor for Absolution. That's actually, I keep forgetting about this item, and I need to think about this more whenever I have like a fed, like a Iggy and stuff like that, gadget. This would help out a lot, so I need to remember this. That's it. That's kind of nice. Ashbringer, physical power is decreased. Whoa. Ability haste is decreased. 30% attack speed is added. So it's I don't know if this is, I don't get the attack speed, but there's still some really good attack. Let's keep reading. Now this is a big wording here. Nuclear is also receiving stat adjustment, no longer granting attack speed or mana, and getting some ability haste in return. Okay. They're defining an ability for ability. Let's clear. So cost is decreased. Physical power is increased. Okay. Ability haste added. Mana removed. Attack speed is removed. That's still, I mean, still, it's pretty nice. And I don't think the attack speed's actually gonna hurt people like it's gonna hurt people like Grim, who really depend on the attack speed increase. So I'm overall curious to see how Nuclear Rounds is gonna build on now with that attack speed being removed. Resolution, attack speed is increased. Buffs to what's his face? Twin Blast right there. Sky Splitter. Rend current health damage is decreased 3.5 to 3. I think this was buffed and then they nerfed it. So I think it was buffed at like 4 to 3.5 and now they're nerfing it. But that was a while ago. Stormbreaker. The cost for increased on Stormbreaker. That's actually, honestly, that one item that builds into it that gives you, after like you stack it to 100, that was a very strong item and it was very cheap. At 550 after buying a short sword. So it's 900 total. So this is acceptable. Vanquisher, physical pen decreased from 9 to 8, so they're nerfing the pen on it. Fixed issue or annihilate would not execute its target when they were damaged by other item effects of Inferno or Malady. I've had this issue happen before, and I was wondering, I think it was with Murdoch. Murdoch, or I think after a Drongo ult, I was wondering why I wasn't, no, not even, it was Infernum. I think I did do like a Drongo Infernum or something, and I was wondering why I wasn't getting that kill or something like that. Oh, right. It's Dread, even when Dread is... so cost reduced on Dread. Actually, that's going to be good for people like Fang Mao, possibly. Envy. Hush cooldown is increased. So this is applying that silence. That's a pretty drastic. 15 seconds is a big deal. 45 felt was like a lot. You can only use it once a fight, basically. Infernum. So let's see what we got here. So these weird interactions with Morgish and Twin Blast. Cinder max health damage is decreased by 0.5%. Cinder max health bonus physical power scaling is increased, so better for physical power people. Cinder no longer generates stacks of kindling as a target while they are currently affected by Cinder's. So Cinder's damage effect when it's going. Oh, this doesn't stack anymore. This sounds like a pretty aggressive nerf. This sounds like an aggressive nerf to it. That's probably why they increased the scaling. Then this should have stayed the same, I think. I don't know. This would have fixed people like Morgish and Twin Blast. So I'm a little bit confused by it. Okay. Pretty aggressive nerf, I think. Mind Razor, physical power scaling. Wow, 50. That's drastic. Like, that's a big item. Razor Cleave, total physical power scaling, though, is decreased. Okay. Lower clear, but mainly more damage increase on fights. Nightfall, Eclipse ability, healing increase from 10 to 12. So, okay, so once you reach a certain HP point, you'll heal more. Dusk Reaver's shield on takedown is increased from 200. Oh, so just a little bit until later. It's better sustain overall. I don't know though. I don't think it's still worth it. You shouldn't be looking at really getting murdered and then coming back. So like, it's still kind of a bad item. Omen, cost is decreased on Omen. Okay. Omen is like a good and bad item. It's not as good as like it used to be. Tainted Trident, ability haste increased. I think this item is pretty good on paper. The ability haste increase is going to be pretty nice. And I still think it's a good item on paper. You do more damage on people that you do more damage based off a pen. So if you're an assassin like Kalari, you know. Although, what's his name? Fang Mao has kind of moved away from like the assassin build strictly with pen. So I'm not a little bit, I don't know. Curious to see how it's going to be built now. Perforator, for physical penetration is increased on Perforator. Nice. I haven't seen this too much recently. Augmentation, True Strike, total physical power scaling is decreased from 40 to 35. So got nerfed. I assume all of them are getting that? All of them that use the passive. Berserker Axe. Blitz damage is decreased 40 to 30. Oh, this is going to hurt Chimera. Anyone that has a dash early game. But honestly, it's a very strong item. It's very overkitted, in my opinion. Draconum cost decrease from 3050 to 3000. Flow missing health healing increase from 4 to 5. That's a pretty nice chunk of buff because that's pretty good for a lot of people that can go into fights, can guarantee a kill and stay in it. Excuse me. Earthshaker. Earthshaker also receiving a stat shift. Health decreased by 100. Attack speed is decreased from 30 to 25. 10 ability haste is added. This item, it feels a little bit iffy in general to add. It's not necessarily a bad item, but there's better items. So I'm curious to see if people build some good stuff with ability, like with this. I don't know if this helps Greystone much, taking this, or if Greystone should still go like the regular Basilisk build and all that. Legacy, cost is decreased. This item is not built often, and it just hasn't been built very often. I think they need, I don't know what to do with this item, but I have not seen it. Miss Meadow Buckler. Now this I heard was like a good item, but also trash. Like people thought it was going to be good, but really kind of sucked. Cost is decreased. Physical power is decreased to 40. Magical armor is increased. 15 ability haste added. 6% Omnivamp removed. So what? They just want to make it more spam based. What was the? I forgot what the passive was. Yeah, struggling to fit it into their build late game with the absence of ability haste. Now that Miss Meadow grants haste, it can better be active defensive against heavy magical burst. Yeah, I don't know too much about this, but the Omnivamp change seems to be better. I don't think 6% Omnivamp's that big of a deal for most people that build it. Alright, mages. Azure Core, so Spirit Shield, max mana scaling is decreased. Honestly, it was really annoying how big that shield got, but I still am a little bit, I don't know. I don't like building Azure Core anymore. I don't even like building Elk Rod anymore. Spirit of Emir. Monster Slayer damage increased from 8 to 10. Yeah, that's what it was changed. Pretty good item with a really good pen. So, I mean, you still might want to look into this item if you're really far ahead. I want to look into it on like Countess and stuff. If you're really far ahead and you need some more penetration. Even if you're not jungle Countess. Soulbinder. So, Arcana damage increased from 8 to 10%. Actually sizable. And then the range overall is decreased. Now it's still like I still wouldn't see why you wouldn't pick up like Noxia or just better items. It just still takes time to stack it up. And if you get 30 stacks more, I think this has like a 30-second cooldown as well or something. So it's just I'm not a big fan of it. There's better items in my opinion. Tainted Scepter. Malice per stack is decreased. That's sad boys right there. Malice magical power scaling per stack is increased. Oh, that's pretty drastic actually. So this scales better into late. Yeah, see, so late game itemization. Yeah, this is still pretty darn strong though. But that nerf is gonna be, so it's about 15 damage nerf, like give or take. You're gonna see a 15 damage nerf due to how it scales or having all stacks. That's all we're getting for mages. Sad boys. Support, so Cresselia. Cost decrease from 2600 to 2500. Cost decrease. For Crystal tier, Dawnstar cost decrease from 26 to 2500. Health decreased on Dawnstar. Base health regen is increased. Pretty sizable. Crusader, bonus attack speed increased from 20 to 25%. Dynamo, cost decrease from 2600 to 2500. So just overall cost decreases. Seems like 100 gold on most things. Physical armor is increased on Dynamo. Dynamo got a pretty nice buff on top of the cost decrease. And Dawnstar got, I would say that's the overall buff though. The regen kind of can cancel that out over a little bit of time. And the attack speed is pretty nice from the passive. Everbloom cost, Everbloom's a really strong item. So Frosted Lure, cost is decreased by sizable amount. Health decreased from 400 to 350. Fixed an issue where the frost wave not correctly go on cooldown was activated but did not deal damage to an enemy hero. Okay. I haven't seen it too much except for like I've seen it a little bit built on steel. I think that's kind of it. I think it's the only support I've really seen it build on. No, I don't think I even saw it on Narbash either. Galaxy Greaves was decreased. Oh my lord, man. More people are going to be jumping. It's only 50 gold. Hexbound bracers cost decreased. Base health regen is increased. Hexbound's a terrible item anyway. Don't build that ever. Lunaria cost decrease. Heal and shield power is increased from 8% to 10%. And cat, I don't know the passive. I'm not gonna lie to you. So this was designed for Zinx. Now that she has arrived, it became apparent through internal testing that Lunaria synergizes way too well with her and out healing a lot. This lost healing is partially being redistributed. Oh wait. Oh, it decreases. So it synergizes well with her and decreases to incandescence. That's a big word. Potential healing output where needed. This lost healing is partially being redistributed. Okay. Incandescence. Additional healing is decreased. All right. Tainted Totem. Cost is decreased. Magical power is increased. This is still a solid item, and it got buffed. So this is gonna be a good item on. I wonder if this will be worth it on people like. No, I guess not really. If you get it on Zinx. True Silver Bracelet got a cost decreased. Vanguardian cost decreased. Wind Collar cost decreased, and magical power scaling went up. That's actually pretty strong. I think this thing applies like that movement speed over time, or something like after you do something, get this movement speed increase. I think after ability or something. Tanks, Fire Blossom, Heat Wave damage bonus health scaling was increased. It's kind of fallen off, but it's still a strong item. Especially Brimstone helps do it farm clear. So this will be a strong buff. Void Helm does not meet the mark. Magical armor is increased on Void Helm. I think there's just been better items than Void Helm. Chrysalis, this does give you the heals though, and that's important. There hasn't been like too much effective healing, I feel like. Bug fixes. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna read all these bug fixes. There's just so many, and I've just done so much. If you guys want, or if you guys want to just go into Chat GPT and just copy paste them. EA bundles for console players. Lastly, recently put a poll inviting feedback. So this is that whole thing that I did with the drama. I'm not gonna really go through it. Let's see what we want to hear. Very nuanced, and we knew that the solution proposed would not appeal to all players. Thanks for your feedback. We've identified some potential solutions from asking the community. For console players to get additional skills without compromising the value of the exclusives from the original bundle. We've been unable to action feedback in time, but we hope to share an update soon. Until then, the early access bundles will be removed from sale on Epic and Steam as of August 20th. We appreciate you coming back. Yeah, this is a ton of stuff, Gary. A lot of stuff is kind of coming out of this. But it's a lot of new player stuff. Not really big on the long term stuff. But hey, it's a step in the right direction though, and hopefully we get some bigger changes in after version 1.0, and more things are able to come out due to it now being full released. Because I know console was limiting. Overall, like I said, a little bit disappointed in some of the mid lane changes on characters and nerfs and buffs, but for as a mid laner. But I think it's better. I think Drongo got hit. What's his name though? Twin Blast technically got a buff, so I'm a little bit confused by that. That guy has always just been so strong overall, so I'm a little just disappointed that he's still kind of in the meta, like highly in the meta, I would say in terms of carry. But I don't know. They kind of give him a nice little buff with his attack speed thing, and all that. But overall, pretty interesting patch. Yeah, this was a lot. So let me know what you guys think about the patch in the comments below. Yeah, on that note, take it easy. Have a good one. Good luck on your games, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.